Hey Dragon Slayers, today's video is about have faith in God, not your doctor. Ken Berry's story, part 1. So I'm sure your doctor is caring, kind, and thoughtful individual. However, he isn't superhuman and he isn't God. Your doctor, at some point, had to possess intelligence and curiosity, and he would not be your doctor today if he didn't. The path through college, medical school, residency, and medical practice is very demanding and tricky road. As a result, not everyone can travel it. At some earlier point in his life, your doctor was an energetic, eager to learn, ready to try new things student who couldn't wait to learn everything possible and apply it to improving the health of their patients. What has happened to them since then? How did your doctor go from being an eager, curious learner to a stuck in a rut, bored, burned out individual just spent a whopping 3 minutes with you in your latest medical visit? This is a complicated question and it varies from doctor to doctor. Dr. Ken Berry attempts to explain the thinking and motivation of your doctor to help you understand what's happening during the average office visit and to give you a peek into what goes on behind the scenes and inside the head of your doctor. Let's begin by telling you the story of one doctor he knows very well, Dr. Berry himself. He went through medical school with 175 other individuals, all shapes, sizes, and ethnicities and genders. They all had done the work and suffered the hardships to get there for one reason, to become doctors. Some of his friends in medical school were there only because their families had demanded they go to either medical school or law school. Some were there only because they wanted to be the first person in the family to become a doctor. A few of his colleagues in medical school were just there for the money and the prestige. Honestly, those people were very few and far in between. Most of them had jumped through all the hoops required to get into medical school because they wanted to be important in their patients' lives, do great things, and help lots of people. They wanted to make the world a healthier place. Dr. Berry, like several of his classmates, was married and had a family as he went through medical school, which made the process much harder than it would have been had he been single. He's not saying that single people would not have responsibilities aside from school, but single people would have been less likely to have responsibilities that would have felt slighted or betrayed if the promises made about life on the other side of medical school had not been kept. Medical school requires many hours of study, both solitary and in groups. His home away from home for the first 2 years was a small 4x8 room on the 7th floor of the library. It contained only a desk, a chair, and a lamp. He spent many of his waking hours as a young adult sitting and studying in that drab, depressing little study room. As a medical student, they would always fight and vie for the best of those study rooms. The one with slightly bigger desk or slightly newer lamp. Those hours spent in his study room were hours he didn't get to spend with his family. He tried to make all of those hours count so that when he finally became a doctor, he could somehow repay his family for all the lost time. His children were growing up every day, and he was missing milestones of their development much more often than he would have liked. However, he had his calling and compulsion to become a doctor, and everything he imagined being a doctor must mean. The problem with medical students, past and present, is that unless one of their parents was a doctor, they don't really understand what it means to be a doctor. They had all watched the TV shows and read the books and dreamed the dreams. However, they had no idea what their daily lives would actually be like once they finally finished their long and arduous journey. Looking back now, it seems a little crazy to have worked so hard for so long to attain a career about which they had little understanding of the daily workings. So, we're going to continue this story in our next video, but that's what I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. And remember, guys, that together, you and I will slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.